Look, I am a massive fan of the Smithsonian. I'm in DC very often for work, and I've become an expert at speed runs through any of the museums before I've got to Metro to the airport. Heck, I have had photos published in Smithsonian magazine. So when I see that the news is covering something happening at one of my favorites, the National Portrait Gallery, which is the official federally funded visual record of who has been president of the United States, I perk up. The wall on which we attempt to render a verdict on each person who has ever held office in this republic has had some changes. In that gallery, right next to the black and white photo of Donald Trump looking pensively at his resolute desk, there's now a small plaque. And the plaque mentions, in passing, that this man was impeached twice. Donald Trump, who personally tried to have his impeachments deleted from the official record of the United States of America, essentially just lost a fight to a museum historian named Mindy Farmer. The fact checkers have won, folks. The plaque won. The truth has won. And if you don't remember, back in March of 2025, Donald Trump signed this executive order titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History, a title so Orwellian that it should have its own exhibit in the National Portrait Gallery right next to Donald Trump. And this executive order told federal agencies you need to scour the Smithsonian for, quote, improper ideology. The translation there, erase the parts of American history that make Donald Trump or the white people just like him that came before him look bad. Step one, in August, the National Museum of American History quietly took down a panel that mentioned Trump's impeachments. Step two, January 2026, the National Portrait Gallery hung a new black and white photo of Trump, and the wall text accompanying the portrait dropped every reference to the two impeachments and the January 6th Capitol attack. Step three, Donald Trump fires the National Portrait Gallery director, accusing her of being highly partisan. Fourth, the new plaque simply said, Donald Trump, born 1946, 45th and 47th president. Described like he's a guy who just showed up at your family reunion, who said he's your cousin, yet none of us are totally sure who invited him and whose aunt he belongs to. And yet on Friday, with very little fanfare, the Smithsonian unveiled an updated wall text. And right there on the plaque, in calm museum curator English, alongside the Abraham Accords and Operation Warp Speed, are the words, impeached twice. So yeah, Donald Trump lost again. This time to museum curators, the most uncontroversial professionals in the entire federal government. A group of people whose job is making sure that the lighting on the Lincoln penny doesn't fade. And they just stuck the word impeached back on the wall, and Trump is raging about it. James Millward, a Georgetown historian helping monitor the Smithsonian's language, told the New York Times that the institution appeared to push back on this pressure campaign from Trump. Pushback from a museum. Yes, folks, Donald Trump has reached the point where history is pushing back. And the most delightful part about this entire saga is that the format on Trump's new plaque is the exact same format as Bill Clinton's plaque. Both got impeached, and both have a one-line acknowledgement in the same museum. The Smithsonian is basically saying, hey, you tried to get special treatment. We're giving you the standard treatment. Get over it. So go hang out with your pal Slick Willie, and give my regards to your dear friends Jeffrey and Ghislaine. Of course, the Trump White House is still complaining anyway. They told the New York Times there are still many missing accomplishments from President Trump's first historic term. Missing accomplishments. The man held office in 2 non-consecutive terms and attempted a coup between them. He faced 2 impeachments, 88 felony indictments. He became the first president to become a convicted felon. And his press team is still out there whining that the museum didn't list enough wins. Hint, there aren't enough wins. The plaque's only 4 inches square, by the way. The only thing that should be added to the plaque is how many times Donald Trump's name appears in the Epstein files. You know, there is a saying in journalism that I'll paraphrase here. The first rough draft of history is what you see in the news. The second draft is what you see in a museum and on a plaque. And the third draft is your grandkids reading it in a textbook. And here, it'll be a section heading called Trump, a Nation Tested. And right now, that second draft is being argued over line by curators who refused to flinch. The plaque won, the truth won. And I want you to subscribe so that we can keep watching this slow motion vindication of every fact checker, archivist, librarian, and museum curator who has refused to lie. They are the real ones. And so are you.